My name is Linda Cirulli-Burton, and welcome to this channel named Above the Battleground, ACIM. Today I want to share an episode from my life that really knocked me for a loop. I was so put out that there was a period of time where I'm yelling at the top of my lungs, I'm a fraud, I'm a fraud. I was shocked at how easy it was to choose hell. And I might even add, choose it and stay in it. And how I needed a power outside of myself to remind me that I have a decision maker and that I can choose again. Above the Battleground is based on the teachings of a spiritual self-study path known as A Course in Miracles. So I've been a student of A Course in Miracles for many years, but I'm beginning to fear that for most of those years I was a dilettante. In other words, I could talk about it, but really to rigorously make the decision to live it, to apply it to my day-to-day life, I really think that was missing. I really think it was missing up until a couple of years ago. And so I made the decision that I was going to really be devoted to it, and thinking that one of the things that I would do was to create videos of these lessons or these insights in order that it would go deeper within me and maybe be of some benefit to you on your own spiritual path, whether it's A Course in Miracles or some other. So for many years I had a bulge, a lump in my stomach area. And, I really didn't pay it any mind. I mean, I look at myself sideways in the mirror. It wasn't great, but then it crossed a line, okay? My bulge crossed a line. And what it did was that it seemed to be getting bigger, and then it would hurt, and then of all things, it would itch. So anyway, I took myself to an emergency room and then ended up speaking with a surgeon, and it was identified as an epigastric hernia. Now, an epigastric hernia is one of those hernias. It shows up between your belly button and your sternum, and it was time now to put in a mesh and, push it down. So the surgeon said to me, and this stuck in my mind, he said, it's a relatively simple procedure, but it's known to be very painful. Now, I absolutely did not take this man at his word. I wasn't even going to take my Izzy, my pug, to the animal clinic for them to watch her, because I figured, well, I have the surgery in the morning, I'll come home and then I'll walk her. And then my sisters read me the riot act, and they said no, it wasn't going to be like that, and that they wanted me to stay at the house that they share. So anyway, I went and had the surgery. Well, let me just stop and say that in A Course in Miracles, lesson 199, it says, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. Okay? This is a very big lesson in A Course in Miracles. Not only lesson 199, but then it's the review lesson from 200 to 220. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. Well, I'm going to tell you something. When I got up from the anesthesia, when I was still at the surgery center, I thought I was going to die from the pain. I even said to the woman who was assisting me, don't try to walk me. I'm going to scare everybody in this unit. Don't walk me. And so I think she hit me and put me in my sister's car, and we were on my way to my sister's house. Well, I was so out of my mind in the pain that I was yelling, I'm a fraud, I'm a fraud, because I could not transcend my body. So anyway, it got so bad that my sister Chrissy, my baby sister, actually walked into the bedroom and said, "Now Linda, you have to stop. You're on a spiritual path. You have to figure out how to talk to yourself, you know?" And then on top of that, so bizarre, my Izzy didn't have one of the vaccines that they required at the animal clinic. They said they would take her, but she was going to have to stay separate from the other dogs in isolation. So along with me and my body, all I could think of was, my dog is in isolation. Honest to God, one of my sisters came in and said, what are you crying about? And I said, I'm crying because Izzy's separated from everybody. And she goes, oh my God, your dog is fine. She walked out of the bedroom, right? Then there was another thing. It was like PTSD. I'd had some major surgery. I don't know. They don't even do the surgery anymore. It was so awful. But anyway, about, 15 years ago. So I had this surgery, and ultimately it did not go well for me in terms of the fact that I had to be rushed back to the emergency room and kept overnight while they performed certain particular procedures to make me feel better. But anyway, so I had PTSD, and I kept thinking, oh my God, look, I'm going to be rushed back to the hospital, blah, blah. My dog is in isolation, oh, the pain is so horrible. And then I don't know exactly what happened, but at midnight on the second day, so Wednesday at midnight, I just was sick of myself. I really was sick of myself. And so I absolutely calmed down. And I absolutely had to think of Jesus, and I had to go to the top of the mountain in my mind, to the decision maker. And with Jesus, I was able to choose again. A certain particular calmness came over me. And I will tell you that the next day I asked my sisters to drive me home, and I stayed by myself for a day. And then I had them bring Izzy to me by Friday, and I got it, And the trouble, the issue with the PTSD is I had lunch with a friend of mine, and I was telling her about that, and she said, well, it really is the past. PTSD is generated from the past, and that was another thing. Because the truth was that I was seeing only the past. And what I could hear Jesus saying to me is, that was then, this is now. The past, all you're seeing is the past. Release it. This is now. You're going to be okay. This is now. And the combination of the calmness that came from going to Jesus and the lessons from A Course in Miracles, it all kicked in. And it took a while, And I thought, well, how do we, in fact, judge progress? And I've thought about this before, and I think that it is, we don't really know how, without turning to a power outside of ourselves. How long can you be in hell? I don't know, but I had some deeply ingrained lessons, and I lost it all. I lost it all for a day and a half. I was throwing the covers off me. I was just a wild woman. And then Izzy, I got it. So all I want to say is that we choose hell. We do. And sometimes we choose to stay in it. But I'm proud of myself. I went there, and then I was able to turn to my decision maker with the help of Jesus, with the help of the Holy Spirit, and then look at it and make another decision. So I'm going to tell you, I ain't there. but I'm putting one foot in front of the other. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you again soon.